Despite everybody and their mother streaming towards useless, impractical, and expensive EVs, Subaru keeps pushing towards innovation in the world of internal combustion. In recent years, Subaru has practically transformed its image from one of the most unreliable vehicles on the market to the most dependable one, save for Toyota. And to make things even more interesting, the company has just announced that they're working on a myriad of new models that will completely turn the automotive world upside down. So let's not waste any more time and check out what the legendary Japanese manufacturer has prepared for us as Subaru CEO announces 6 new Subaru models for 2025. Number 6. Subaru Brat. It seems that there couldn't be a better time to revive the legendary Brat namesake than today. Seeing how the Ford Maverick practically turned the US market upside down when it launched, Subaru will also try to capitalize on the compact pickup truck segment. Just like the Ford Maverick, the Subaru Brat will share its platform with a compact crossover SUV, which in Subaru's case would be the Subaru Forester. The Brat is also expected to share some exterior parts with the Forester, such as the entire front fascia. Interior panels will also be taken straight from the Forester. However, they will be made from cheaper hard plastic materials to keep expenses and the price tag as low as possible. However, believe it or not, the Brat's resurrection won't be just Subaru trying to cash in on the namesake while offering the most generic of pickup trucks. Oh no, the Brat will be a true successor in spirit to the old truck, as it, just like the old model, will be a 2-door truck with 4 seats. Now, of course, you shouldn't expect those wicked truck bed seats, as safety standards wouldn't allow them in their worst nightmare. However, the Subaru Brat will come exclusively as an extended cab. This means that the Subaru Brat will be ideal for those of us who value utility and practicality above all else, but still need rear seats that are comfortable enough for kids and smaller adults. This means that its bed, which is expected to be some 5 feet long, will be much more spacious than the Mavericks, while interior space will remain more than usable. Additionally, since the Brat will be a Subaru Forester in disguise, you can expect unparalleled off-road performance, completely outclassing the Maverick and even putting to shame some larger mid-size pickup trucks like the Honda Ridgeline. Oh, and let's not forget about the price tag of the Subaru Brat, since it'll be noticeably cheaper since a separate production line for most of the panels won't be needed. We expect it to start well under $25,000 due to the simplified manufacturing and cost-cutting compared to the Forester. But we understand that not everybody wants an extended cab and that interior space for the most part plays just as a vital role as the truck bed. Subaru also understands this and they've got you covered. Number 5. Subaru Baja. In a sense, coming late to the show made Subaru wary of all the problems the Maverick has encountered, which is why the Subaru Baja will tend to fix them all and destroy the Ford Maverick in its own game. You see, just like the Ford Maverick, the Subaru Baja will come exclusively as a crew cab, but it won't be based on the Subaru Forester. Instead, it'll share its platform with the Subaru Outback, making it a significantly larger vehicle. It won't be a straight-up mid-size pickup truck, however. It'll border between compact and mid-size. The key benefit of this will, of course, be ample interior space combined with a large truck bed, seriously jeopardizing the Maverick's basis in this segment. And since the truck will be based on the Outback, which is technically a crossover station wagon, you could also expect it to be quite a bit more capable off-road than the Maverick. Furthermore, its Boxer 4 engine also allows it to retain the low center of gravity, meaning that its high riding position will allow it to be much more comfortable and much more engaging to drive compared to the Blue Oval's offering. Finally, despite being larger than the Maverick, it'll only be marginally more expensive than it because Subaru will perform the same cost-cutting measures as with the Subaru Brat. As a result, you could expect the base model of the Subaru Baja to start a little more than $27,000. Number 4. Subaru Outback. Oh, and with the arrival of the Subaru Baja, we could also expect the all-new Subaru Outback to arrive. The new generation of the venerable Outback will be more or less just an evolution of the current model, just like the recently revised Subaru Forester. This means that the Subaru Outback will boast the same basic chassis as the current generation, however its interior will be completely revised, offering better padded seats, better interior materials overall, as well as much better tech. Additionally, the suspension will also be reworked to allow the vehicle to iron out bumps and road imperfections with more grace than ever before. Additionally, the Subaru Outback will also come with updated powertrains. However, this won't be a world of difference as we expect the currently used 2.5 Boxer 4 to return with its current output for the lower-end versions, whereas the higher-end versions will use a detuned 2.4 turbocharged Boxer engine found in the Subaru WRX. Number 3. Subaru Legacy. Well, this is welcome news. After initially announcing that the Subaru Legacy would be entirely discontinued for the 2025 model year, Subaru decided to backtrack on its previous statement. Instead, Subaru will start making the Legacy again. However, it'll be a completely different beast than before. And before you ask, no, it won't be just another crossover. What it will be is a lifted sedan, something like the recently introduced Toyota Crown, albeit much more approachable in terms of pricing. You see, despite the lack of popularity for sedans in the past few years, the Toyota Crown has proven to us that there's quite a niche market for those who crave the sedan body type with a bit of added off-road practicality. And since the Subaru Outback and the Subaru Legacy have always shared their platform in the past, it's no surprise that Subaru will use the Outback's platform and suspension to make the new Subaru Legacy. That said, these two will be different vehicles entirely, as the Subaru Legacy will still be primarily a road-oriented vehicle, with its added ground clearance being only an incidental inclusion to make it more usable overall. Also, the Legacy will be much more subdued in terms of design compared to the Outback, as it does, after all, intend to attack the Toyota Crown's crowd, and those guys prefer subdued design over something ostentatious. Number 2. Subaru Ascent. The black sheep of the entire midsize SUV segment, the Subaru Ascent. Generally regarded as one of the blandest crossovers in the segment, the Subaru Ascent's new generation is set out to rid itself of that stigma. As a result, the Ascent will, just like the Subaru Legacy, offer a much more subdued and more elegant approach towards design, aiming directly at the Mazda CX-70, which is considered to be amongst the most beautiful non-premium midsize crossovers. However, the CX-70 and with it many other midsize crossovers of this segment have one major issue, which is comfort. Most of these vehicles are simply too harsh for anybody who prefers driving casually instead of aggressively, because their suspension and chassis need to be stiffened up to compensate for the tall ride height. However, since the Subaru Ascent uses a Boxer 4 engine, this issue will have been mitigated from the get-go, allowing Subaru to offer a much more pleasant and softer ride. Couple that with Subaru's most premium interior with fantastic seats and great soundproofing, and you already have a winning formula. Add to that the fact that the Ascent sits atop a heavily modified Outback/Legacy platform, and you'll understand why this car has such a crazy potential to become the next big thing in the midsize SUV segment, just like the Mazda CX-70 did. Number 1. Subaru WRX STI. Honestly, we were very disappointed when we heard that Subaru was discontinuing the WRX STI nameplate. After all, this lineup was what made Subaru the car company they are now. Well, worry not, as despite their initial disdain towards the WRX STI lineup, Subaru will reintroduce the legendary car in 2025. The WRX STI will be a hardcore variation of the regular Subaru WRX. This means that you should expect a noticeable increase in horsepower for starters. No official figures have been stated. However, we believe that Subaru will fit the 2.4 Turbo 4 with a second, smaller turbocharger, which will allow it to be more responsive at lower RPM while increasing horsepower to at least 320 horsepower. Additionally, the suspension will be stiffened up and lowered a bit to allow the car to be more composed on the road, allowing it to feel much more like the impressive WRX STIs of old. Furthermore, that god-awful CVT will be dropped, and in its wake, we'll see the 6-speed manual as the only transmission option, which is fantastic news. Finally, the vehicle will be lightened up, with Subaru using aluminum on most panels that are currently made out of steel. Overall, the new Subaru WRX STI will be a true callback to the much-loved Imprezas from the 90s and 2000s, and frankly, we can't wait to see it in person. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.